Hey, I'm Colin Smith from Photoshop Cafe, and today I'm going to show you the Mavic Pro. So here it is, just arrived this morning, very excited about this. So here's the Mavic Pro. So the first thing you want to do is you want to plug your mobile phone in, and you just want to kind of turn it on. So I'm just going to tap and hold to turn on this controller here. Open up these antennas. Now you don't want them in like that, you want them up, straight up like that. It's going to give you a better connection. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Mavic Pro and now I want to open it up. So the way to open it up is we actually fold out the arms first at the top. Notice that. This is the front here. Then we go underneath and we just fold these legs down. And that's all we've got to do. It's ready to go. There's the sensors on the bottom. And there's the sensors on the front for obstacle avoidance and for flying indoors. And it's actually not bad indoors. And you can see there's the props. You don't have to worry about opening those props out because they're actually going to do it when it takes off itself. So the next thing we're going to do is just tap once, tap twice to turn this on. And we're just going to put it over there. And we're going to let it do its thing. All right, so the next thing we need to do is our controller. We need to turn on the phone. And this controller feels good. It feels like nice quality. It doesn't feel flimsy or anything like that. It's got a little bit of weight, not to the point of being obnoxious, but enough weight that it feels like decent quality, that it doesn't feel cheap. So let me just get this open. And what we're going to do is we're going to launch the DJI Go app. At this point, so controller on first, then we turn on Mavic, then we're going to the Go app. Now I can snap these into position, get this all nice. There we go, Mavic Pro. You want to say magic? It is kind of magic. And then I'm just going to click on there to enable it. There we go, ready to go. There's the app. We can see the view there. And everything is ready to go. Notice there we see GPS mode. And look at all the information there on the controller. It's kind of cool. So we can see there's a lot of info there on the controller. Shows our exposure settings. And let's have a look at this little controller thing here. Okay, so this does digital zoom. This enables us to tilt the gimbal up and down right now. As you can see there, we're moving the gimbal. We can push it to go into the multiple flight modes. So if we could go in there, we could choose things like gesture, all that kind of stuff in there. Excellent. Okay. So the first thing I want to do, though, is that you always want to do on all your copters, really, is we want to do a calibration. All right, so I want to do a calibration. So I'm going to see if I can just grab this on the side and move it backwards and forwards a few times like we always did for calibration before. And look at that. That works for calibration. So I'm going to put the controller down, and I'm going to grab the Mavic. I'm going to pick it up and walk around 360 degrees. Okay, so I heard some beeping and some different things like that, which means that we were able to calibrate this successfully. All right, so here we go. What we're going to do to start it up, just like we would with all our other copters, we're going to drag these two in. And notice right now those props are all stuck together. Go like that. Notice the props spread out. Nice. Let's lift it up. And look at that. There we go. And off she goes. Seems to be flying quite nicely. Let's get a little altitude. And we're going to tilt that gimbal down and up. So as we tilt up and down on the gimbal, notice that, using that wheel on the back. That's nice. And the other thing too is we can change our camera settings over there. So watch our exposure would change a little bit. Notice that. And we're wondering where we are in brightness. Notice on the screen there, it actually shows us right there. We're at 0 EV, and it shows all those different settings there, which is really nice. We can go into here. There's our camera settings. We can change the settings here. This is where we choose 4K or whatever we want for the video, which is good. We're good on that. In photo mode. And notice now the settings go into photo. So if we tap this way, we get video settings. Tap here, we get photo settings. And right now we're doing a single shot. Looks good. Image sizes are there. And then for the format here, we want to do JPEG and RAW or just RAW. I'm going to do RAW, and I'm going to hit that shutter button. and I can just take a photograph just like that, easy. And I'll do some comparisons here so you can compare the Phantom 4 with our Mavic Pro. So we can see there on the app, we can see our distance right now and all that stuff. So let's change the modes. We've got different flight modes that we can go into. What we want to do is turn this to multiple flight modes. If we turn this on, now all our fancy settings are going to work. So if you notice down the bottom here, we've got a lot more stuff. Looks like we might be in sport mode right now. Yeah, there we go. And you can see we can get some pretty good speed there. And let's come back towards us. So we're going to take this controller on the side, and then when I move that down, what we're doing is putting it into GPS mode. So that's how you change modes there. And now it's going to fly a little bit smoother. Let's record some video. And let's see what we've got on here. Notice on the controller here we can see a lot of different settings. And I'll walk you through those settings. Okay, here we are in the Go app. Let's look at some of the options. If we click on the options here, we can see, we can set all our units and all that kind of stuff, just like we would for the other copters, and I've got reviews on those as well. But one of the things that we do want to do, go to the very top here, this gives us our main controller settings. Now we can go to tripod mode. Now as I'm moving around, notice it moves a lot slower. That's as yoing around. Then if we go out of tripod mode, notice it can spin much faster. So this is a cool mode that enables us for smooth flying. Notice that. We can get some smooth panning and stuff like that. It's not the place you're going to go for performance. Okay, so if I tap on this button here, it takes us into multiple flight modes. And notice the different flight modes are here. Tap, zoom. We got the normal. We got gesture, where we can actually tell it to take a photograph. Why don't we try the gesture here? It says, move to be tracked, gesture to confirm, gesture to take a photo. Okay, let's try these gestures. Let's go in there now and try running. Yep, active track is working. Nice. That's tracking me. Okay, let's choose our tap fly. And with tap fly, what we can do is we can find somewhere we want to fly to, like maybe over there. And we tap on go, and it's going to automatically fly to that destination. So you can see it's going there by itself. And we're just going to hit stop there. Now let's try a different mode here. Let's just tap on there. Why don't we do active track? What I'm going to do is I've got myself there. I'm going to tap on go. And now it's following me. Let's see how that works. Nice. Okay, let's do a point of interest. Let's put my camera here as a point of interest. That'll be interesting. Okay, let's record our POI directly above my camera there. Click that button, we've recorded it. All right, nice. Let's come back a little bit. And let's apply the point of interest flying. Okay, so there we go. Now it's working. Notice it's circling. I can bring it in closer now that it's started. Move the controller side to side. Notice as I move it side to side, it's following that point of interest tracking. And I can bring it in or out, and it's actually staying on that point right now. So my camera right there is right in its center. So when we're finished, or at any time when we freak out, something might be going wrong, we can hit that pause button, and notice that stops it. Copter immediately And we can also just click on here to exit and click OK. Now we're out of point of interest mode, and now we've got full control of our copter again. All right, so it seems to be working pretty well. We've got about a 30% battery, so we're going to be coming in pretty soon. Let's just bring it down, get a little flight, just really quickly before we quit. This thing seems to fly really well. Really feels like it's not flying that different than a Phantom as far as control. It's very responsive. Let's bring it back here. Yeah, it's definitely very responsive. It has a good feel to it. So let me just catch land this. Oh, interesting. So the obstacle avoidance won't let me catch land it. That's interesting. All right, and there we go. So that's the Mavic Pro from DJI. Let me just turn it off right now. And when we're done, we just fold it up. Take these down, snap, 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 snap like that, and look at that. It's all packed up and ready to go. It's great, it's really quite small, doesn't weigh a lot. And let me pack up the controller. Same thing for the controller here. Let me turn the controller off. Just take the phone off. And pack it in like this, and it's done. So, and it's all packed up and done. All right, the Mavic Pro, it's, you know, from my first flight right there, taking it out of the box this morning, not having really known how it works or anything like that, never flown it before. So it just packs up really small, and it's light, it's portable. Now, as far as flying, it has all the features that the Phantom 4 has. Obstacle avoidance seems to work well. I tried a couple of the different modes. Not sure if I had much success in the gesture mode. That's something I've got to look into a little bit more. But as far as like tracking and everything, it worked well. Point of interest worked well. So, you know, the autonomous flight mode seemed to be working quite well. The obstacle avoidance is great. You know, when it sees an obstacle, it stops. It doesn't crash into it, which is always a good thing. So, you know, it's quite easy to fly. But let's talk about the flying experience, though. So the flying experience with this felt very much just like flying a Phantom 4, to be honest. It felt just as responsive. Once you pop it into sport mode, it moves quite quickly. I like the tripod mode, that you can slow it down and you can get some great shots. And as you saw there, I shot a little bit of video. I also shot a couple of photographs. So I'm going to upload a little bit of video. I'm going to upload a little photo for you, a raw file, so you can have a look at the photographs and decide for yourself, you know, is the camera good enough? Because really that's the only question. The copter is definitely good enough. This thing flies really well. It was stable. We had a little bit of wind. It didn't pop around a lot. It was quite stable. You know, all the features are there. It was quite reliable, worked well. I'm very impressed. I'm going to be taking this thing on the road with me. This is a perfect travel quadcopter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my Phantom 4 up in the air for a little bit right now, snap a couple of photos, maybe a little bit of video, and upload that too, so you can have a look and you can compare it to see what you like better. So anyway, that's my little review. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, subscribe to Photoshop Cafe for more tutorials and reviews coming all the time. And also don't forget to hit that like button. And until next time, I'll see you at the cafe.